I proudly walked down the school corridor and imagined how I would spend my first lesson. Finally, I fulfilled my dream and became a teacher. And then I caught sight of the photo of the principal on the stand. Hell, it was Eric. When I was in high school, that asshole made my life a living hell. Eric and I were once best friends. I wanted to be a teacher, and he wanted to be a school principal. Everything was great up to one point. The best university in the country just announced an educational grant, but Eric and I agreed the strongest would win. But just before the competition, the whole school found out my main secret. I was adopted, and I only told Eric about it. My parents constantly reproached me that I was a stranger, and after Eric's act, everyone at school started teasing me an orphan. But something else became the last straw. In the final of the competition where I gave a speech, they threw garbage at me right on the stage and I was forced to run away. I had hated Eric ever since. I trusted him and he betrayed me. I was distracted from my thoughts by a familiar voice. Eric was waving at me from the other end of the school hallway. After everything that had happened, I was not even going to say hello to him. So I quickly slipped through the nearest door, and in a hurry, I hid under the first desk I saw. Eric was calling my name, and then he came into the classroom. His footsteps were getting closer. But suddenly the bell rang, and he left the classroom. Crouching, I crawled out from under the desk and suddenly noticed the surprised look of a teacher. She asked me menacingly what I was doing here. I tried to lie that I just dropped a pen, but she didn't believe me. Damn it. I didn't want to sound crazy on my first day, so I told her how their principal, Eric, had ruined my life. I was hoping for some support, but Nancy, that was the teacher's name, defended Eric. She said he was a great principal. They just adored him here at the school. My jaw dropped in surprise. Nancy continued. When Eric came here, the school's reputation was as bad as it could be. The previous principal was accused of corruption and kicked out of the school. And then this story was discussed in the press. But with the arrival of Eric, the school became one of the best. She was saying something else, but I wasn't listening. It seemed I had just come up with a plan for revenge. I would frame Eric, and I would make him leave school. This was the position he had dreamed of all his life. And I would destroy his dream, just as he destroyed mine. I spent a few days thinking about the plan and decided that I should give Eric a sedative and take a photo of us lying on the bed together. I would blackmail him with a fake pregnancy. To pull this off, I decided to throw a kind of welcome party for the school and invited everyone to my house, including Eric. Let's see what he says. Before the party, I bought a strong sedative and ordered a fake pregnancy test online. Great, now everything was ready. I was looking forward to the evening and now it was finally here. The teachers had fun. We danced, talked, but Eric was still not here. Damn, I did this for him. The holiday was already coming to an end when suddenly Principal Eric appeared on the threshold. I cheered up and greeted him nicely. Eric apologized for being late and suddenly pulled out a bouquet of my favorite lilies from behind his back. Did he still remember that these were my favorite flowers? While the guests poured each other drinks, I quietly went to the kitchen and poured the sedative into a glass. Then I carefully gave the glass to Eric and made sure he drank it all. Wow, in 10 minutes, he would be sleeping like a baby, and I needed to get him to the bedroom as soon as possible. Eric, let's go upstairs. We have so much to discuss. I sang sweetly. Of course, he agreed. We were almost to my room when Eric stumbled on the stairs and almost fell. Damn, I overdid the sedative. I dragged him upstairs with difficulty and quickly opened the door to the room. I couldn't let anyone see us. Eric couldn't think straight at all and plopped down on the bed. I lay down on his shoulder as if we were hugging and took a few photos. Done. And now, 2 weeks later, the moment of truth arrived. I went to Eric's office and threw a pregnancy test right in his face. See what you've done? He immediately jumped up and began to assure me that he did not understand what I was talking about. Then I showed him a picture of us in bed and defiantly burst into tears. Maybe it's a mistake, he asked excitedly, but I shook my head. Eric, the ultrasound also confirmed. I'm pregnant with your baby. I continued. Either you write your letter of resignation today and I won't tell anyone, or I'll go to the press and give them our photos and this test. As I expected, this coward immediately decided to write a letter of resignation. I was about to leave when Eric admitted that he didn't like working as a principal. And now he could take care of the family. What family? Then Eric gently took my hand and said, "Did you think I'd leave you alone with a baby?" I was taken aback. What happened to Eric, who was willing to do anything for his career? Eric said he'd drive me and keep an eye on me for as long as it took. But as soon as we were on my street, I saw the fireman. Eric pulled on and then I realized that it was my house on fire. Oh no, I was in such a hurry that I forgot to turn off the iron. I wanted to run to my house, but Eric grabbed my arm. He told me not to risk my life. Now I needed to calm down. We could go to him and sort everything out. I tried to collect my thoughts. I really didn't have any other options right now. An hour later, we were at his house. I was in a terrible state, and Eric brought me a blanket. My eyes were closing, and I didn't even notice that I fell asleep in the living room. The next morning, I got out of bed, but suddenly I realized that I was in a strange place. Where was I? Oh, right. This was Eric's house. I cautiously went downstairs and saw Eric cooking something in the kitchen. As soon as he saw me, he put the plates of omelette on the table and invited me to breakfast. He was trying to be good again. That pissed me off. I lied that I was in a hurry to go to the hospital, and I decided to look for a place to move to. I was not going to live with this traitor. I didn't have any friends in the new town, so the first thing I did was go to that teacher Nancy. But she refused me a place to live, and everyone else from the school did the same. I allegedly framed their favorite principal and all that. So by the end of the day, I had no choice but to go back to Eric. I quietly entered the apartment, but then Eric called out to me. Damn it. He scared me. He was sitting on the couch in front of the TV, and it turned out was waiting for me to come. Eric invited me to watch a movie. Remember, we went to the movies together, he said. I didn't want to, but Eric wouldn't give up. What if I told you I'd bought your favorite pistachio ice cream? He added. I hadn't eaten since this morning. So be it. I decided to join him. For a while, it was easy for me. Eric was always joking, and I couldn't help but laugh. But then Eric touched my stomach, and I snapped back to reality. Soon, my deception would be revealed. I needed to move out of here faster. I pleaded fatigue and went to bed. I wouldn't be here tomorrow. I waited until Eric had gone into the bedroom, then decided to run. Still, it was better to go back to my parents than to live with a traitor. With the last money, I paid for a taxi, but at the station, it turned out that the ticket offices did not work. Damn it. Then, in the middle of a dark street, I noticed a man. Who was it? Suddenly, he rushed in my direction. It was a homeless man. I ran as fast as I could, but he was chasing me. When he almost got me, the glare of the headlights blinded my eyes. I tripped and fell to the ground. Don't touch me. The car stopped abruptly and someone got out. Eric, he shooed the homeless man away and helped me up. I didn't think I'd be so happy to see him. Eric said that he saw that I was not in bed and was very scared. As we drove home, Eric suddenly said that he didn't think he'd ever told me about it, but he'd been in love with me at school. What? In love? It was like being doused with cold water. And why did you start a rumor that I was from an orphanage? Eric looked at me blankly and said he hadn't given away my secret. The information about the fact that I was from an orphanage was told by the principal of our school when he was preparing the documents for the grant. Eric wanted to tell me about it in high school, but I didn't even try to listen to him. I couldn't believe my ears. So Eric didn't betray me? As soon as we got home, I said I had a terrible headache, and then I rushed to my room. I lay in bed all night, tormenting myself with thoughts of what a fool I had been to get back at Eric. I should admit that pregnancy was a fraud. But then he'd hate me. And then I had the idea that if I told him I'd had a miscarriage, then I wouldn't look like a stinker to him. I went to see Eric in the morning. I tried to stay calm. Eric, I need to tell you something. I had a miscarriage a few days ago. Eric was silent for a few minutes, and I could see how upset he was. I needed to distract him somehow. Come on, Eric, let's go for a walk. You'll feel better. As soon as we got in the car, Eric said that we were going to the hospital right away. After what happened, I needed a full examination. What? Not that. My lie was about to be revealed. As luck would have it, the hospital was very close to the house, and in a few minutes, we were there. Eric parked the car and we got out. Eric, I can't go to the hospital, but he came up to me and gave me a big hug. He said he understood how hard it was for me. I couldn't take it anymore. My legs felt weak. Eric said he'd bring the doctor here. No, Eric, don't. There was never a child. I wanted wanted to get back at you for betraying me at school, but I think I was terribly wrong about you. I was sure he would leave, but Eric just smiled calmly and said, even though you hurt me, my feelings for you are still the same. He took my hand and looked into my eyes. And then I realized, I don't want to leave anymore, Eric. I want to stay with you. A year had passed since that day. I returned to school and became the favorite teacher of all the children, but not for long. Soon, I went on maternity leave for real and became the kind of mother I had always dreamed of having. Did you like the video? Subscribe and like it. Support the channel. Thank you.